apparently we are here. We are operating at full capacity. Good evening. Welcome to another Wednesday night. Well, Wednesday Night Warship hobby hangout, where I will be building some dystopian wars. Sons of Jutland. Look at them. Looky. They are rather swish. Initially, when I first heard about it, I thought, wow, it's just the Sons of Jutland. Don't mean anything to me. And then I realised they're actually a mercenary unit, so they can actually go with all factions within dystopian wars. So that is kind of handy, especially if you've got stuff like that going on in the world. He says, I'm just gonna again share this sort of stuff out amongst certain places. Right, so where were we anyway? Yes, building stuff. So I'm looking more towards ships of the line and the Vitruvian. Those bad boys. So we'll go with one of them. Feels underwrite. And I've just realised that I've left my super glue indoors. So I'll be 20 seconds. Right, that's much better. Having the appropriate adhesives, because there are certain elements that are resin, which I completely forgot about, and kind of needed if we are to build it. So yes. There we have it. The Einherjar. Wrap this up so I can see what the hell I'm doing. Get ourselves some sprues. So yes. Honestly, I've just been thinking about these dudes since this morning. And when that kind of thing happens, you do kind of want to invest in it. Don't put it off. Don't think, oh no, I can't. Just do it, because once you get started, that's when you start to enjoy yourself. And when you enjoy yourself, that's what the whole thing is about in the hobby, is having fun. And that is what we are trying to do today. Have some fun. Live a little. Going by visuals. 16. That one. So, keep meaning to get onto the Independence fleet as well, which I got because they've got the John Henry Vitruvian, the flying, the flying Vitruvians. And I had an idea of building it and painting it up as like a Captain America. It seemed appropriate. So this is the lower body part, so clean as we go. Sharp blade for a change. So with the other ships, I'm still kind of wondering what to do with the frontline squadron ships in particular. I'm drawn more towards the Odin class, or the Odin Reaver, as it's called. But that's something to worry about later. Because we're dealing with this dude. Stuck. There's quite a few bits. This. 3. 6. The old eyes trying to focus in these small parts. So I thought we'd go with normally it is the old samurai village. This soundtrack is sort of like a meditative Batman. So something a bit different. Because of the angle, I couldn't get that any lower with the clippers. So that's always a thing. These are the leg sections from where you can just about see in the surface of the striding behemoth. So. Hey Mark, how are you? You great potato wizard warlock. Can't wait to get my hands on this box. Yeah, it was a lot nicer than I anticipated. And so the excitement grew when I realised that I could use these with my crown forces. So definitely did a mage. Sorry, a Phil, the engine Phil. So it's like a little skirty. There. So what I'm going to do, I'm not going to glue these in place past that, but I'm going to, because they've got, so as you can see, they've got their little indentations for where the parts go. So I'm sitting bits into position, then add in glue, and then plonk it on top. He says. So they're perfectly in to the position. I'm doing good. Been at the first parents' evening. Oh, yeah, tired and bored and hungry. Chipping a bit to get the Scandinavians for my Imperium, and I still haven't even played my first game. Well, to be fair, I've only ever played one game so far, and that was against Phil back about 2 months ago. It seems ages. So that was interesting. Learned a few bits and pieces, especially against Commonwealth and the railguns. And I visited the campaign day that he ran at Wayland Games last month. So I popped in, said hello, and yes, that was well done. And there's another one being planned soon as well, in the next few months. Hey Icon, how are you? What are you up to? Are you hobbying? Yeah, parents' evenings, like the last few have all been online for me, so that was it's nice being at home and in comfort, or comfortable. 22. So these two parts here. There's a couple of spread out, yes. And we'll be attending the tourney in December, so yeah. But mine was in school and fully in German. Oh well. Good. I was a few years back now. I was relearning again during sort of lockdown. I was relearning what I used to be quite good at German at school. Out of the two languages I did, French and German, I'd done German for the least amount of time, and that's what threw me into going with German in my options, because I'd done French for longer, even though I was better at German than I was at French. So possibly a cock up on my part, but I was redoing it on Duolingo. I've done quite well for a while, but the problem is if you're not actually using it, it's really hard for it to lock itself in. So I eventually sort of just drifted away. And all the stuff that I sort of learned, I've forgotten. Apart from Gurkha. I love that phrase. But I can't even remember what it was meaning. Oh dear. See, it's getting old. Getting old. 27, 26. 27, 26. Yeah, I was decent in French and German at school at GCSE O levels, and then I moved here and got better. Yeah, strange, sir. I spent most of my lockdown work on Japanese. Yeah, I've got got a friend who's out in Japan at the moment, going around. He's been down to the Gundam factory, and my hobby daughter, who will be moving out to Japan next year. So she's been learning Japanese for the last year and a bit. She's working for a Japanese company, but obviously from here because it's all computers. So. I'm going to have to figure out Christmas holiday to the UK myself, purely for gaming. Well, that's never a bad thing. So whereabouts you normally, whereabouts in England do you hail from originally? I'm assuming that's where you'll be heading back to, especially for family. That went late, Hartlepool. You're lucky if I go to Newcastle. We up north. Yeah, that's funny enough. One of sort of again someone I met through social medias and hobby groups and stuff. Daz, who's really good mates with commission painter John Moggy McGee. Now, John lives up in I think it's sort of Bolton, so it's like North Manchester, Greater Manchester sort of thing. And then Daz lives in Brighton. But John, like last year, well, earlier this year actually, tell a lie, we was at Beachhead and John came down, picked him up from Brighton, and then went to Bournemouth to go to Beachhead and obviously check out the Titans that were there. And then I believe they went to Bovington after that, to the Tank Museum, because again, sort of cool day out. So, but it's, you know, that's the thing. Like, we have friends all over the place. You know, I've been quite fortunate that there's a good few people sort of this way. Obviously, Engine Phil was just down the road. So it's handy dandy. But yeah, I've got friends up north. But as I say, until you go out and visit or meet up, because obviously with all the because I made a lot of those friends from like Heresy Weekenders and Black Library events. Why not? Hey, Antigizmo. I really, despite having okay French and German, never actually get to use them with my French and German colleagues. They always want to test their English. Yeah, unless you force them, just speak at them in German and French. How's things going with you anyway, Gizmo? You still cracking on with Starfield? I realised I was I'm over a day's worth of play, which I thought was a lot. But I was speaking to another friend of mine earlier on, and he's got almost 2.5 days clocked up in a week. Obviously, he's got more time to do gaming. As I said, I thought I was doing a lot. Every moment I've had spare, I've been playing Starfield. Armies. Well, I can get away with playing Connet work. It comes in handy, that, doesn't it? I've currently taking up ship nabbing. going to random planets. Well, I've been looking. I was set on my first outpost last night, but I went to one planet. Thought, oh, they've got some okay resources. Or actually, to be honest, I wasn't even looking at resources. I was looking at how pretty it was. And a ship flew over. I thought, oh, so I sort of walked the direction and saw it landed. So I've gone up to it, and because I saw something on one of my news feeds, a video about getting this really powerful ship sort of thing, and literally just stealing it. So I thought, oh, I'll give that a go. So I got on board, killed the crew, nabbed it, and it had some sort of like the dodgy cargo, like some artworks or stuff like that. No, it was human organs. Sorry, it had human organs in there. So I thought, damn it, I need to take that to the den, sell that there, and then sell the ship. I didn't realise that you couldn't sell the ship if you're in it. I couldn't figure out how to change it, and then I realised. Then I looked it up and found out that you can go to certain places so you can actually change the ship there. So which one's your home ship? So I did that. Registered that ship, then sold it, as you do. But yeah, it was a bit palaver, and then I went to do it again to get the thing sorted out, the base sorted out, and then there's another ship. Oh, okay, I'll steal this one as well. So I did. Hey, Dante Pence. Dante, how are you? Phil has been very quiet. So, he's definitely up to something. It could be just, going low profile so he doesn't get banned again. How are you doing, buddy? You working on your ships at the moment? If you're struggling to get rid of the dead bodies in borrowed ships, change a few of the modules, change them back, and the bodies will... I did wonder that. I thought, oh, they'll just add to the decor. Guys just strew like the annoying. I've got the annoying fan, and I've gone onto the bridge of it because he's obviously with me on this occasion. As he's sitting in the pilot, the co-pilot seat, and there's a dead body just strewn across him because he just sat down on it. And Sarah Morgan was sitting at a desk. I say at a desk; she was in the desk. So the way she was sitting, like the seat is like here. That's her body there. Sort of, yeah. So that's the table, and that's her body there. But her bottom was there, sticking out of it. It's like, oh, hello, what's going on here? Not bad. Working on Heresy currently for a league in Milton's Keynes that starts next month. Fair enough. So those sort of things are very helpful with hobby. When you've got events to work towards, that really helps with the motivational side of things. As long as you don't leave it and then it becomes like a chore because you're rushing. But if you sort of plan things ahead and go, right, okay, I've got 7 weeks, let's get 1 unit done a week or whatever you need to do. Obviously bigger stuff will take longer, but as long as you sort of pace yourself, generally could get it all done. And everything's hunky-dory. Standard NPC and Bethesda. It's an escalation league, so 1,000 points, and I cannot panic paint, says the man who did metallics on his flagship the night before Fjords again. Yeah. There's been lots of stories told of people's panicking. I've got to do this. 1,000 October, 1,500. That's cool. What force will you be taking? I take this as the Jutland box. It is. Still haven't decided what ships to do. I was saying earlier on. Hey Mac. I'm drawn towards the Odin. Because I say you've only got, well, you've got a few ships to be fair to choose from. But obviously, when you're setting out your forces, you want them to maximise. Because where I've sort of watched like Speed Demon paints, and his sort of like guides to forces. You know, it's utilising the kits that you've got as best as you can. Because I'd already started building all my crown when I first sort of watched his video about the crown and realised, I should have done things differently. So when you've got all these sort of ships, so you've got 2, 3, 4. Well, 2 4s and 2 Odin Reavers. And you can obviously build these out there. And you really want to like double down on what you've got. So like a squadron of 2 would be a good option. Yeah. Got your little Valkyries. And then let's do the Valhalla. I was saying that video I did for the opening unboxing, right? Having escort ships now, excellent move. Get Benny to work out a magnetising plan for them. Well, he'd done a magnetising plan because I was watching his video with the Independence battle fleet. Because obviously we can do the Independence in 3 different versions as well. So that gives some ideas. But I think with the Valhalla, it's the back part, which I was saying on the video, that the back part you just have to magnetise that bit there to pop that in, and then all these would be magnetised anyway. Because this can slide out, you can put the other bit in. So that is actually really easy. It's just this back part, which is the difference. To have that back, and then the carrier one has a different back. But yeah, no, Benny was nice enough to comment on a couple of my videos I've done recently. So he commented on one of them yesterday, talking about there was a difference with the instructions on one of the ships. I'm going to follow how he has done. He's enlightened. Now, he does have a keen eye for detail. Admittedly, like with the again, I'm not one of those people that just rush around to get the name out there. Maybe I should have, but I got my stuff come through on Saturday. And I actually, on here, I did show off the boxes. I didn't open them because I do that especially for the videos. Because I like the whole taking off the wrapping. Yeah, maybe I should just sod it and just put it out there. Just go, hey, look, everybody, I've got it, and here it is. Here's what it looks like. And the kits are really good. I don't think there's been a bad one yet, to be fair. Still got a here you go. Shamadal. Still got more to do that because I keep on forgetting to do the little gun sections in here. But that is a monster. Massive. Oh, yeah. You could have 4 of them hovering, surfing. Still waiting for his Crown deep dive video. Yes, I am here, Dante, keeping my head well below the trench line and not saying out. Is this the new set you got this week, Lee? Yes, it is. This is the Scions of Jutland. The Scandinavians. So obviously they've got Imperium tech, but the Scions themselves are also like mercenaries, so you can actually field them in other forces, such as the Crown. With this fleet, or battle fleet, so again we've got the main battleships, flagships, sorry, heavy cruisers, 4 Fenrir subs, and you've got these little frigates or corvettes. Then these are little escort ships, because you can have these like surrounding these guys. Some Valkyries there. You've got your SRS tokens, or mini subs, sorry. And then you've got your 2 Vitruvians, or the Einherjar. Einherjar. So that's the Asgard, the Skulden, the Loki, the Angrboda, Heimdall, Labalda, Gefjon, Jotan, and Gungnir. So yeah, what do I look like? Jotan. I like the look of. But I say the Odins I do like, because you can have these guys as Hunning and Munning running around. I bought another Norn emissary. You mad? Hold on a sec. I talk about extremes. Like Saturday, the stream only lasted an hour because of how oppressively hot it was, and I've just had to shut the door because it's a bit chilly. did hear people bemoaning the fact that they didn't think the Norn emissary was big enough. But the way I see it is, obviously, the Norn queens are humongous. You're not going to get a model of a Norn queen. But an emissary doesn't have to be massive, it can be smaller, obviously. Man, no, you can have a unit of 3. Oh, right, so that's what you're doing it for. I think it's because the books it was held up as the biggest organism spotted, just as a hierophant and a hierophant. Yeah. And then, you know, with in all the GW parallel of it, like when the Dominus Knights were coming out and they're saying, "Oh, it's the biggest knight," and you know, wow, this is going to be huge, and it's the same height as a Questoris. It's just shaped differently, and it's like the turrets that make it slightly taller. You know, it's not like a Questoris knight. So it's the biggest plastic knight kit. All right. Kinda disappointed. bit's actually very shiny. But the size I'm happy with. A Primaris Merino, which is only, see? Cool. Basically, size I was expected, but I think GW could have marketed the size a bit better. Thought on it. Am I a joke to you? Agree on that side, 100%. I have a demanding cat yelling at her staff, and that the hoodie has not been put back in the correct place. That's cats for you. Just don't care. Cats are like that. That's the thing, until you get started on it, you just don't know how it's going to end up. So, and like as you say, luckily it turned out pretty good. I did raid a space base earlier today, and it was what can I describe as a space meth lab. Yeah, actually, the place, the moon I set up my outpost on, my first outpost, there was a place right near. There's an abandoned research station, which again, meth lab. Like there was the plastic sheeting down, and I went in, found the spaces, started blowing them away, and then I've accessed this room, and there was a epic level shotgun in there. I was like, oh, that looks cool. Because where I've made my character based upon Amos Burton from The Expanse, I thought I've got to get him a automatic shotgun type thing. So this, it carries 6 rounds in it, but it has a chance of like one of the rounds has a chance of being like radioactive. So it's like, ha! So it's like one of the highest strength weapons I got. And it looks mean as fuck as well, like a proper sort of like Amos's shotgun in a way in later series. But yeah, as soon as I got that, I got another one. But it's something different. It was slightly more powerful, and I thought, yeah, but I don't like the look of it. Amos is great. You're not the guy. I am the guy. No context, that's all you're getting for those who have not watched it. But yeah, season 2, which is weird because it's like how the series progresses after that and where you end up is just unbelievable. Still love it. Remember it well. Well, that's the thing. It's like because Wes Chatham actually got on really well with Ty Frank. So he sort of. I used to watch like Ty and that guy, which is their little YouTube thing they do, and I started watching it when it first came out. So like after I used to finish up here on a Wednesday night, I'd then before going to bed watch that YouTube thing. And the thing they were saying, like, because they were talking about all the behind the scenes and the creation of The Expanse and stuff, was that there was, when auditioning for Amos, basically Wes Chatham got the part over this other guy. There was 2 guys who played Amos how he is. Like everyone else was going like, oh yeah, and all that sort of thing. And that's not what they were looking for. Because the whole thing about Amos is like when he's saying something, he's not boasting. He's just telling you what's actually going to happen, and that conviction and that that behind the eye sort of thing. He's still one of my favourite scenes in that series was with the when they rescue some Martians whose ship had been, blown apart and like they'd been like near death, and they go in and rescue them because they was stripping salvage to sort of resupply their PDCs. They needed ammunition for their guns in their legitimate salvage that is the Rocinante. And they broke out and was trying to take over the ship. And Holden goes, "You've got 2 minutes before my mechanic gets here." That it's like ordinarily go. So what? So what about mechanic? But because you know what Amos is like, you think, "Oh shit, it's gonna go down." Yeah, but that was the thing. Sorry, so I was detracting. So with Amos, with Wes Chatham and the other guy who like the 2 people that had, when they auditioned, they'd got what Amos was about, and that's what they could see. But Wes Chatham got it over the other guy because of his physical, imposing nature, sort of thing, compared to the other guy. But the other guy still got a part in The Expanse. It was only a few episodes he was in, but he was in the first season, and he was the contact that stowed himself aboard the Rocinante and went with them to Eros. Eros. Yeah, he went to Eros with them. The sort of like computery dude with the camera eye. Him. He was the other guy that could have been Amos, but he thought that they auditioned really well, so they got him another little bit part. And that's what they were saying. Like certain people they met along the way, thought, hold on, let's get that person in, sort of thing, to do something. So he got a few, episodes out of it. So it's all good. James Gunn, yes, Amos Burton is the MVP, and that's the thing through the TV series. Like the books, he's slightly. I think he obviously in the later books, especially, he's still Amos, but obviously a little bit like plumper and stuff. Age, because the age thing's different in that, but the journey from season 1 to season 6 that Amos goes on, it's just worth watching how Amos evolves from where he starts, because from where he starts he's just like a pit bull sort of thing. He's on the leash all the time, and it's when he's off the leash that you have to sort of like be worried. But it's how he takes on the lessons that he learns from like Holden in particular. He had a lot of respect for Holden. And the thing is, when people watch The Expanse, it's always, like, again, from the early seasons, most people's favourite characters are the Triple A's. Amos, Avasarala, and Alex. Naomi, cool, and Holden's probably last, even though he's like meant to be like the main character. And for many watch-throughs, again, like Holden's there. It wasn't until about the 4th watch-through, because every time I watched it, I saw something new or picked up some extra details and stuff like that. But it was about the 4th time round of watching it, because I always used to watch all the series before a new series started, just to do that. And but it was about the 4th running through, and I think this was after coming up to about when the 5th season was going to start. It was that point that I actually saw how Holden worked, sort of thing. You don't notice it because you've got other characters everybody loves: Amos, Avasarala, and Alex. In those especially, as I said, the early seasons. Even like Miller as well in the first couple of seasons. Because again, you've got so many good actors in there, and they've all got their own little quirks, but it's their sort of connections and stuff. But Holden just gets left behind a bit in the popularity stakes, and it's not until I said if you watch it a few times, you see just how Holden is so intricately woven into the whole thing, and you can see his worth. And that's really cool. I was going to say the journalist cameraman, he threatened to space. Yeah, that's him. Yeah. Jared Harris as Anderson Dawes again, and he's gone on like he was a great actor anyway, and he is, and whatever he's in is really good. And having an actor of that quality as a belter, Lorda. And even later on, when you've got David Strathclyde in as the ghost knife of Callisto. What's his name? Kleiss. I can't remember his surname, because it's a really like down to earth, straightforward like name, isn't it? His surname, but Kleiss, and I know his title was the Ghost Knife of Callisto when he was a proper beller. I wanted to see how they did Bobby. To be fair, when I knew it was coming to TV, yeah. Well, I only watched it. I watched it first before getting into the books, so I had it the other way around. Whenever it was like audio books, so even though it's not the actors playing the parts, I still envisioned the characters from the thing. Ashford, no, Kleiss Ashford, yes, because his story, like in the couple of seasons he's in, and from when he turns up, he's not, he's doing what he thinks is right, and that's the thing. It's very grey in that series, but when him and Drummer start working together, and then the whole Marco Inalis storyline goes off, he just becomes such an awesome character. And again, I'm not saying anything, no spoilers, but praising the characters and how they're brought to life, and it just works brilliantly. It was such a well-made show, and I know we only got 6 seasons, but I also understand, and I've said it many times on previous shows of the shows, Hangouts, because in the books there's a 30-year jump. It stops for 30 years, and then 30 years moves on. So, yeah, well, Drummer played 3 different parts, because she was 3 different characters, and they brought one of the actual characters she played in the 3rd season, who was Bull. They brought him in the 5th season. So they had the character, her story in the 3rd season, sorry, where Ashford turns up first, is Bull. The other character that she played was can't remember the name now. But yeah, no, Drummer. Cara G, who plays her, fantastic, and I know that like with Strange New Worlds, which I'm a huge fan of, and they've got Leanne Khan, Leanne Nunyan Sun character, and she looks like Drummer, but she's not Drummer. But I appreciate it. It's nice to see a drummer in another universe. Author's best move for TV series for me was, we're not screenwriters. Consult with us on how the characters should be or the like, but we will not tell you how to make TV. Yeah. But they both, and again, listening to Ty Frank chatting, and he said like he was more involved because S.A. Corey, which was him, and I've forgotten the other dude. The other, because there was 2 people who were under one pen name because they used to sort of work together. Because the other guy was a professional writer, novelist sort of thing, whereas Ty Frank, this whole thing that he created was based on a role play game that he was trying to make a computer game. Or a role play game for it, a computer game. And the company that was going to was going to do it folded. He retained the rights and was just doing it as a role play game, and then made it into a TV show. And most of the Canterbury characters were from the role play game, from people that played those characters. And like Shed, who was the medic in season 1, that was a character. Avasarala's best line, and Holden, don't put your dick in it. It's fucked enough already. Yeah, Sure, I can never pronounce her surname, but her voice is just, I love the sound of her voice when she speaks. But when she's swearing and she's in full flow in Avasarala, I don't give a fuck. Oh, great. Everybody gets a pony and a blowjob. But in the audio books as well, Avasarala swears so much more. Holden fighting the coffee machine. Yeah. Or Miller and Amos. Miller and Amos having their disagreement. Stay down. And there's no malice in it either. There's no malice in Amos. He's not vindictive. He will put you in a fucking wall. Oh, brilliant. Oh. I think my favourite, one of my absolute favourite Amos bits was when they've gotten back to Ceres after lots of shit has gone down, and like everyone's like, yeah, the heroes, man, heroes on the belt, and all that sort of shit. And Alex is in the bar, and he's like got a couple of like honeys like listening to him, and he's like, oh yeah, so I just did this maneuver and all sort of shit. And the pimp guy comes over and starts harassing Alex. Then Amos comes in, beats the shit out of him, and then goes up to the bar, sits down, and Alex says, "How did you get here so quick?" He goes, "Oh, I've got a flop next door." Alex goes, "Next door? That's a brothel." He goes, "Oh yeah." Yeah. Oh, Amos, brilliant. I think Holden getting real coffee for the first time in years was a beautiful scene for him. It's just like oh god, that's real, without having to put matches into it, or the match heads. Or in Bobby's deposition about what happened to a team and the way Avasarala cuts the Martian Major to bits. Yeah. Don't fuck with Avasarala. Do whatever the damn well I please. Awesome. All of them awesome characters. So like Naomi as well, she has her sort of moments, and her backstory is really quite sort of intense, from where she came from to where she ended up as well. Fred Johnson. Oh. Such great. It really worked out for him. And I said, like, they were. Ty Frank said we were just so lucky to get some of these actors to work for us, and but obviously the problem is, like, people like Jared Leto. It's Jared fucking Leto, not Jared Leto. Jared Harris. he's so in demand. I'm trying to get hold of him, you know. That's better. I realised I've been putting the things up upside down. That is much, much better. What the hell am I? These little bits actually help hold the ball joints in. I'm just putting them in and then fiddling about with them. So it's been obviously since the end of The Expanse, it's been hard going trying to find something as awesome. Not quite boats. Vitruvian Colossus is Colossi. Ah, yeah. I was just about to say about For All Mankind, because I've only recently finished watching it. I started watching it a couple of years back, and I only got through the first episode and a half, and I struggled. I'll be honest, like I found it hard. For some reason, I just couldn't click into it. And after, was it the third or fourth season they did? I think it's the fourth. So like earlier this year, and like lots of my friends were saying, "Oh, it's brilliant! Oh, I can't believe it!" And all that sort of thing. It's another series like ended or ended for now, and I'm like, I've got to give it a watch. So I went back on, started from where I left off, and literally watched that episode, and I thought, "Oh, hold on," and then from the next one on, I was in. Like episode season 3. Okay. Yeah. So after that, yeah, I was definitely hooked. So when actually there was a character called Molly, who came in, she was awesome. But that was a really well done, like alternate timeline, and what if the space race never ended type thing, and it was beautiful. Hey, Bob. My next goal to get her watching Deadwoods is brilliant. Molly Cobb, yeah. No, Molly Cobb was awesome. She really was. Great character, and again, some really great actors in it. Like some guys that you've probably seen in other shows, and they're really, gold standard of swearing. But yeah, Deadwood, brilliant. Actually, funny enough, because of Timothy Oliphant, as old Bullock, John Bullock was it? Which is, I think, yeah, well, I know it's Bullock. Can't remember his first name. Because John Bullock was actually my head of year in senior school. Yeah, Timothy Oliphant, who also done a series called Justified, about US Marshals operating in Kentucky. And that's obviously sort of more modern day, but Kentucky's a kind of redneck, kind of backward areas as well. So that was actually quite a good. That's a good series to watch. It was Justified, but they've just brought out a new Seth Bullock. That's it. They've just brought out a new. I think it's like a movie or something, just to show it off. Hey, Bob. I'll probably leave the head off so I can actually paint the decking. Don't think. I can't believe you turned down Dirty Harry. What, they're doing a Dirty Harry remake, are they? They say it's all the characters he plays is sort of, well, not so much Dirty Harry, but they are pretty, gun-toting badasses. I'm just nipping onto the Orbat quickly, so I can have a look at. Heavy volt gun battery or the heavy shock rocket battery. I was just going to keep with the volt on that, but let's have a look at the weapons. On the old bat, Warbat. Yeah. So heavy shock rocket, which is aerial. Okay. Heavy volt gun battery. So I might. I'm just going to glue these on because I'm not bothering with the other bits. Justified is amazing. Never got into it. Buddies did. Can't believe he turned down Dirty Harry. I listened to more music lately than other media consumption. That's fair. I listen to a lot of. I listen to. See, I do tend to listen to music. Obviously, driving to and from work, but it's also I've been listening to like podcasts mostly, more than anything really. Planning it, but he didn't want to play another lawman. That's fair. So he's done a lot of lawman. Like even in Mandalorian, he's a lawman. Especially Rylan and space. Bit underwhelmed with the Flictor considering its cost. That's a shame. It looks so slick, and that's the thing. It's like sometimes they do have really cool units, and they just don't live up to the hype. Yeah, I'm gluing this turret in. I don't care. The gun battery is fine for me. I'm happy as a little kid at Christmas. We're not playing ball tonight. Yes. Financial cost is 30 quid. Yes. Right, it's a lot of money. Wherever you to its hand. 40. So its hand, it's not exactly a hand, is it? It's a prongy thing. It's clogged up in. Change your mind. I'm going to back it. See the rules for corrupted knights in 30k are out. Yeah, I haven't actually looked at that. Right, so here's a I thought I'd go with like the arm sort of slightly raised, so it's like, you know, sort of reaching out to get ready to bring that axe round, sort of thing. So like a blocking sort of motion with that particular arm as he's looking towards this direction. That's the plan, at least. I haven't glued the lower arms, so I can manoeuvre them around a little bit if need be. But obviously, as I start adding to it, then that will change. But yeah, that's pretty cool. pretty cool, yeah. Spare parts left there. Oh, struth. Oh. So there you go. That's the fin rear. I was saying in the the video for this, for the unboxing video, this is like my new favourite model because that's it. You just literally just cut off the sprue. There it is. Although I say I think I like the Morgana, you know, assault sub, but the Cheyenne that you get in the Independence box set is so long and like narrow. It's like, yeah, I really appreciate it. These dudes, these are cool. So that's the quickest fleet build. I'm gonna let's go. Two. Let's go. Four little escort boats. There's a little, so these all float around. If you buy them as an upgrade, it's like 8 points per escort. And they just give you an extra dice for attacks and defense around your flagship. I've got five of the factions. So six. So hold on. So obviously Crown is my main fleet. The Alliance, I've got the Minerva battle fleet and Italian support squadron. Well, apart from the Minerva's the only thing I've built. the Independence, so that's the Union. I've got the Zamdao, so that's Empire, and the Zamdao Sky Fortress, which comes with 2 of the 2 little Sky Fortresses. Well, basically, that's 1 little Sky Bastion. So this is 4 Sky Bastions attached with this cross bit. So an independent Sky Bastion is 1 of them. So I've got another 4 of them. So I've got 2 in the Sky Bastion set and 2 that came in the Zamdao set. So you can do that and 2 bastions. So what's it? So Crown, Union, Alliance, Empire, well, Sons of Jutland / Imperium, that's 5, and Commonwealth, and 7, Commonwealth and the Abydos, so which is Sultanate. And yeah, no, I have had, yes, because with the Commonwealth, Phil took the Alexiev battle force off of me, and Luke had the Thule, which was the Enlightened UFO. So they took that. He took that, and Phil took the Alexiev. So what's left? I said the Alliance was going to be my 2nd fleet. Although I say the Abydos, I really like the Egyptians. So they're the Egyptians part of the Sultanate. As like these are the Scandinavians part of the Imperium, sort of thing. So it's like with the Crown, currently you've got the Canadians. There's going to be you've got ships for the Crown, which are like the East India Company, because you've got rules for like the Gloriana has a Gloriana class ship called the Adventurer or Grand Indian or something like that. So they have their own variant. So they're a faction within the Crown. We'll be getting South African and Australian assets. So I've got no Canadian stuff at the moment. So the Canadians have got like the Protector, which is the submarine / aircraft carrier. So it's a submersible aircraft carrier. And some support ships, subs and stuff. So they've got a small contingent. So like that can be added on and work in conjunction with the Crown forces. But it said South Africans and Australians, and I think whether or not the Indians will be under like the East India Company side of things. So it's like, I like with Empire. Empire's got like Chinese, Korean, and Japanese elements. The Sultanate obviously has like Arabian, and with the Abydos, that's the Egyptians coming into the swing. So they have their own like aesthetic. And as I said, the Abydos ships, battle fleet ships, are really cool. I really like the look of them, which are very nice. But as I say, as soon as I found out that these guys were a Merc unit and you could field them with any faction, I thought, woohoo! I really appreciated that. So thank you, War Cradle, because these guys will be added to my my ongoing ship building. So look at those bad boys. Look here. That sort of greenish tinge. It's going to be interesting. So it's something for me to work on there. So as I was saying on the thing, Valhalla Fast Dreadnought. So that just pops in, pops out, sticks some guns on it, prow thingy, and the little submersibles. So you'd have to sort of magnetise that to pop in and out there. The Asgard rotor tether ship. So again, you swap out the bridge, and this bit is different. So again, if that's magnetised, you can just pop that in, magnetise those bits there, and these bits here. So you've got your for your Valkyries to land on the Skalden Scion command ship. So big radar things and missiles and a couple of turrets there. Helipad on the back. Yeah. So options there. I do like the Valhalla, to be honest with you, but yeah, they're all pretty decent, and they all have their advantages. But I need to have a proper sort of look through to see what of the ships I can deal with and build. Yes, I'm going to be finishing up at 10 tonight. School night. I've got to get up early for parental duties. But I've got loads done tonight. But this thing, I really like it. It's again, it's like the iron robot. So when you have like what was it? The Gypsy Danger. Just wading through the water. The Colossus. Yeah, that's why I think I wish the Crown had something like this. Technically, they have, because they can use these guys. But yeah, that's proper badass. So simple. Yeah, it's wading through the water. I don't know if you saw, I did on Instagram, I did add a story which was something that Daz at War Cradle has been working on. Now, I'm wondering if they're going into like the land battles side of things with Dystopian Wars, because they did introduce the aliens and atolls type set recently. So you've got islands and stuff. So whether or not they're going to start bringing that out as well. Although there was a sneak peek last week where he's working on something. They look distinctively spaceshipy. So whether or not they're going to be doing Firestorm Armada now as well is something. So spaceship battle combat. But yeah, so that is that. No building whatsoever. Love it. But yes, so all I have to say is thank you very much for coming to hang out for a couple of hours with building this little badass. And yes, I hope you have a good rest of the week. Now we've broken the hump, we're on the downward slope towards the end of the week. Picking up speed. So be on Saturday, usual time, 8 o'clock UK, which will be 3 p.m. Eastern Standard. Which, Molly, you must be like midday where you are when I go live, because you're on the west side, aren't you? West side of things. Good night, Phil. Well behaved. I'll see you all again on Saturday. So until then, take care, have fun, and happy hobbying. See you later.